Well, well, well.
Well. Well, well.
Sippin Truth in the recording booth. Sipping it. Anna.
Canaan. My goodness, what an introduction today.
What an introduction. And I just randomly found that song just now. So that's kind of wild. No,
I don't know. Where did you find that? That's the first time I've ever heard this.
I found it on a Tumblr post.
A Tumblr? Oh, let me know because I want to pin it in Pinterest.
Oh, you got it.
Perfect.
Got it. Then we'll send it over to Stumble Upon. Do you remember Stumble Upon?
I've never heard of that before.
Episode 10, baby.
10.
We've made it to 10 episodes. Thank you all for listening.
Crazy.
Shout out to Brenny because she said that she's all caught up.
Oh, wow.
So
Thank
a
you.
special shout out to you and everybody else who is caught up as well. Thank you for listening.
Yay,
That's the pod.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we have some things that we got to talk about today.
Yeah. First, real quick, before we get into it.
Oh, no.
This is what we're sipping on today.
Oh, okay.
Cutwater strawberry margarita. My mom enjoyed it. I'm not enjoying it so much.
It's strong.
Yeah, it's a little strong, but we're sipping it. Maybe one day they'll be a sponsor.
Maybe.
So, first, before we get into anything, I just want to say that I cooked all day.
All day?
All day for this dinner for myself, my mom, and I knew Canaan was coming over today, so I'm like, well, let me make sure that he has something at least to munch on from his long day of work.
Right.
You know, blood, sweat, and tears in this.
The whole time.
And tell me why. I purposely didn't tell him that it was going to be, I don't eat meat, and Canaan did not eat my meat when he came.
You can't. Not only did you say it weird, but you had to finish it with another thing that was weird. He didn't eat my meat when he came. Come on, man. Come on. So Anna had like tortillas and rice, and then you also had this. I thought it was steak.
Yeah. And
it didn't really occur to me. I was like, oh, maybe Anna made it, and not for her to eat because she doesn't eat meat. But so I loaded up a bunch. I loaded up with a bunch of this steak stuff, and I bit into it, and and I also crumbled Ritz crackers on top.
The weirdest thing.
I need a little bit of crunch, baby.
Gross. There was bell peppers and onions, and he could have crunched on that, but he refused to even get any of that and put it on his fajitas.
Putting on the Ritz, baby. That's why they say it. So I took a bite. And immediately I'm like, what is this taste? Is it the rice? Is it the meat? Is it the Ritz? Because maybe the Ritz. But no, it was the meat. And I put it to the side, and then I finished those two. But then I took all the meat out of the other ones and made a nice
like a
semicircle.
child. It was like a child playing with food. I look over because I wasn't paying attention, and he literally has this plate, and the tortilla's in the middle, and there's Ritz crackers all over the tortilla, and then around it, it's just the meat. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I knew this wasn't real. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and I think if you know going in that it's fake meat, it might have been better. But when you have that sort of mentality going in, it's going to be steak, and then it's not. And it was sweet. You're right. It was
so
it was
good.
Definitely sweet.
Listen, he didn't appreciate that I cooked it. So if anybody out there wants me to cook them dinner, I got you. Don't disrespect me in my house ever again. The listeners are going to
start coming at me. I mean, well deserved. I get it, but I don't need this sort of publicity on me. Oh boy. But thank you for making that meal.
Well, thank you for eating tortillas and Ritz crackers.
And rice.
A diss to me and a diss to my food. Thanks, buddy.
Diss? Interesting. Interesting foreshadowing of our pod. Also, we have some movie updates. We've seen a lot of movies since we last spoke.
3. Actually, you've seen a little bit more. You've seen more movies than I have. I've only seen the 3 that we're going to talk about.
Well, first off, let's go back in time.
Before Coachella.
Oh, yeah. It was,
before Coachella.
God, that was
I know.
So long ago. Guys, we saw the Late Night with the Devil.
I thought it was pretty good.
It was all right. I think. I saw it because again I'm trying to embrace this. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't that scary, which was good, but also I felt like some parts of it fell flat. It was like creative. It was fun.
Yeah.
But like, would I pay to see it again or pay to own it? Probably not.
No, I wouldn't either. But I really wanted to see it because it was 97% Rotten Tomatoes. So I was like, this has to be good.
And then we also saw the first Omen.
Boo.
Boo! Now, I, of course, again, scary.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of horror, but I'm trying to, like, I literally was just like, yeah, why not? And it was just, yeah, it wasn't that scary. It was too predictable for me.
RJ is mean, was with us, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, for those of you who tuned into episode 9 when Ana was talking about Coachella and talking about Doja Cat, and she was like, I loved it. That was RJ,
Yeah,
basically, right?
The whole time, as soon as we stepped out.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. Just every time there was like a maybe scary scene coming on, his like just deep breathing.
Yeah, and it was kind of hard because I would lean over to Angelina and say some things every now and then, and I could just hear like a from RJ. He doesn't, yeah, and luckily for the next movie that we saw, he was on the complete opposite side of where I was sitting.
Yeah, this movie was great.
Oh, hey guys, you like tennis?
You like guys making out?
You like Zendaya?
Then you should definitely watch this movie.
Challengers.
It's really good.
It was, even if you don't like tennis or guys making out or Zendaya, you will find
I mean, if you don't like any of those things, then I think the problem is you.
Yeah, absolutely. How can you operate on this earth? But yeah, the movie, I mean, first off, you know, that soundtrack is
The soundtrack
phenomenal.
is so good.
Like, I listen to it every now and then, and it's definitely a banger.
It is.
And then the acting is good, and it gets you really, like, the storyline, it mixes well, and the tension rises.
Yeah.
Dude, phenomenal film.
Yeah, and I didn't know what to think about it going into it because I mean, from the previews, you really don't know.
Yeah, it's like, why is Zendaya making out with these two guys that aren't
But
Tom
man,
Holland?
it was such a good movie.
Yeah.
Yes, and the soundtrack is amazing. I've listened to it a few times at the gym or even on the way to the gym just to get me like in the right headspace to have a good workout. It's been great.
Hell yeah. Well, that sounds great, Ana. I'm glad that you can listen to it while working.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so coming up on the docket, well, I also saw last night, I saw the TV Glow. Really wild film. It was really cool. Like, stylistically, it was, like, nice to look at, but also I was at a loss for words. Luckily, I didn't, like, see it with a group of people because it gave me time to digest and not have to, like, you know, kind of share my thoughts in the moment. But it was definitely, like, it's coming out across the U.S. in a couple weeks.
Oh, wow,
May.
okay.
Like, I think on the 17th. But it's playing in select theaters right now in L.A. and New York.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard of it. When you had mentioned it that you were going to go, I've never heard of it. Maybe I'll look at a preview of it. Like, yeah, I don't know anything about it. I know, like, people in our, like, A-list chat were, like, that have already seen it was like, oh, my God, it was so good. But, yeah.
Robin, shout out to Robin again. Yeah. Every time I'm always surprised because
he's like always up always on us.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I've already seen that movie. I'm like, how?
Yep.
Like, Challengers had just come out, but, you know, he's on top of it, and I commend you. Speaking of Challengers and the music in Challengers, we, you know, Coachella, it's been, man, almost a month. Is that right?
We went to Coachella April like 12th or 13th. So it's, coming up on almost a month. It's crazy how time flies.
Yeah.
Basically, I think before Coachella, we had talked about getting these Deadmau5 tickets.
Yeah.
Because it was like the 20 years or the
25th year.
25th year.
25 years of Deadmau5.
And so we had got them before Coachella. And I had completely forgot about it, maybe because Coachella was still in the brain, but I was like, oh, that's right. We got this coming up. And I never been to the Hollywood Bowl. That's where it was at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been there a couple of times. I saw Hugh Jackman there live, which he was, you know, as great as ever. And so I kind of remembered a little bit of, like, what the venue was and, like, bring your own beer, basically. Just no alcohol. Well, no, like, hard alcohol. Dude, I think it was worth it. Despite the venue, like, the Hollywood Bowl was not the best for the concert. It was still pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, the music was great. You know, it was wild just, you know, listening to him since, like, middle school, high school, and being able to actually, like, be at a concert with a bunch of other people who are just singing.
Yeah.
And Lissa, and I'll include the video clip here of Lissa not knowing the song and just, like, looking bored as ever, you know? But yeah, really fun time.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else about Dead Mouse?
No, like I was excited just to get to the venue because I've never been, and it's literally so close to us. I mean, we're in LA, and to think about the things that we still haven't done, but it was nice to get out there. The venue was cool. I'm glad I ate before because that shit was ridiculous.
Oh my God. Well, and also
I mean, I'm saying that.
Drinks.
Yeah, I say that. I think that's what I had told you. Like, I'm gonna eat at home because I'm gonna spend my money on alcohol because I know it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, and I got a pizza, and it was like pretty damn expensive, and it was not good. And it was like a small, personal pan. Absolutely not, never again. And then you bought margaritas.
Yeah, so I just kept seeing a bunch of people with like beer. And I am a big beer person, but I was like, no, I think I want just something a little bit more heavy on the alcohol side.
Sure.
So I saw this girl have a margarita. So I think when you were done getting pizza, me and Lissa found the spot.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't want to keep coming back and forth. So let me just get 2. So I ended up leaving with 4 drinks in my hand, 2 for me, but also 2 for my sister.
Yeah.
And not knowing when we finally looked at it, it's like 14% alcohol.
Yeah, it is intense.
I was like, okay, well, let's crack it open. Let me just get a taste of what this is. Boy, oh boy. And I think we have a clip of this as well.
Yeah, yeah.
This alcohol was disgusting. Oh, God. So then I guess my smart idea was like, well, hey, listen, let's actually get a beer so we can chase the margarita with the beer. And that's what we did.
Just mix it at that point. Just mix it. Oh, gross. Oh, my God.
It did not help. I mean, I guess after the first one, you kind of like, okay, I'm feeling a little tipsy. I guess I can just,
yeah, it took you like, it was probably like 20 minutes left of the concert and you had finally finished like one can.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, let's crack open this one. And like Lissa dared me. She's like, chug this. And I was like, I can't do it because I took a sip of it and I tried it and there's a clip of that.
Sponsor is by Margarita. It's lime and agave, 14%. A magical experience in your mouth. Right, Canaan? Let's try it out for the first time.
Absolutely. Let us margarita. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, that's so bad.
Yeah.
And it was, oh man, it was god awful.
Yeah.
Like it was too strong.
We have one in our fridge right now, and I'm like, no, I don't. Maybe when someone comes over and they're like, do you have anything to drink? I'm like, I got the perfect thing for you. Right here.
Yeah.
It was cool. Like, I didn't know because essentially they started from the beginning, I guess, of when he first started out. Because at first I was confused. I was like, I don't know what's going on right now. And they're like, no, this is when he first started. He didn't have his mouse head yet.
Right.
And also like Tommy Lee was with him. There was other people that were down there DJing with him. It was like a little party. And I guess it was the evolution of him becoming like who he is now. So that was really cool to see.
But it was also like 9 p.m. by the time he actually started something. Because the concert started at 7. But then there was like maybe it started like 8:30. But yeah, just that set took like an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. And then he came out with the mouse head. And then it was time to party.
Yeah. But yeah, I do agree. I think like with all the visual effects and everything they have going on, like when I think back to Coachella and I think back to like the tents, like the Yuma tent or something like that, where it's more enclosed, or even Sahara where it's like partially enclosed. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I think we did look and we saw that he was there at Coachella in 2023.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned that he was at the Yuma tent. I'm like,
that
that
would've
makes
been
so
great,
much.
yeah.
Oh my God, that would have been sick.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been there for that. But of course I missed it by a year.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to go then though.
I miss it too. It's okay.
That's fine.
We still had a good time. Like I really enjoyed it. And I remember you telling me, I said, Ken, like how long is this thing? I'm not gonna lie. I had a long day of work. I was still coming down from like, our freaking week vacation. Right. And it started at 7, so I knew we had to be there a little bit before.
Right.
And you're like, I don't know, midnight. I'm like, what the fuck, midnight?
Well, also on the ride over, we took an Uber, and there was some miscommunication that happened, and I was getting in on the right side. You were getting on the left.
Oh, my God.
And Lissa was getting in the back as well. And I'm like, well, what the hell? So then I sat in the middle on the ride over.
This little passenger princess bitch.
We have a picture of this as well. It's pretty silly.
I guess I just assumed that if he saw me going for the door closest to me and Lissa going around, that he'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm the gentleman. I'm going to go into the front seat. But no, let me squeeze my little ass in between you guys.
And it was very goofy looking, and but it worked. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Overall, great concert. You got a picture with one person wearing mouse heads. I love when people dress up and wear the mouse heads.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it. I had a really good time.
Coachella. Ana and I on Friday, this past Friday.
Yeah.
We met up at a coffee shop. The tickets went live to buy at 11.
It's like as soon as you get Coachella out of the system, it's just like, hold on, let us bring you back. Get ready to spend a lot more money.
Exactly.
Coachella tickets on sale now. Let's go.
Right. So we got the pre-sale. We met up at the coffee shop at like 10:30, and then we waited in line, and you load in, and then it has that person walking across slowly.
Tickets went on sale at 11, and Canaan was on the site ready to go, dialed in at 7 a.m.
Right, yeah. I was so excited. I couldn't help it. I was like, well, I'm just going to load into the website early. Maybe it'll help my chances. And potentially it did. We don't know.
Who knows?
But yeah, I just couldn't, like, I woke up and I was like trying to go back to sleep. I'm like, I can't do it. So yeah, we 11 a.m. happens, the line starts moving, and then I'm like, oh, mine's jumping up a little bit fast. It's going faster. And then like stress was on people. This is the first time that I've done Ticketmaster events where it's like, okay, pre-sale goes live, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But it's like, it's hard because it's a year from now, and it's like, I want to make sure that next year that I have my premium parking, I have this all set. And then we have to make sure that everybody else that's coming with us also gets it. So like there was that stress, and it's like sometimes the webpage wasn't loading. Yeah. So I get in first and I'm like, oh, and then Anna's like halfway maybe.
Something, yeah.
And I'm going through, I'm like, oh wait, do I have to pick up the parking pass right now? And then I have to go back, and it's like, do you want to release your tickets? I'm like, I don't know. Is it going to put me back in the queue? So if you feel that energy that I just gave right now, that was the level of anxiousness in that moment.
And this is me. I'm like, you're going to be okay, dude.
Yeah. So then, I go back. It's all good. I get the preferred car camping. I get the tickets. Mm-hmm. And then basically after it was done, after the payment plan actually went through and everything in complete order, then it was like, finally.
Yeah.
And then it was making sure that you got your tickets.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple people like Leo, Matt, and Amy who, Leo and Matt who needed their tickets.
Yeah, Brendan and Mikey. Well, no, actually, Mikey had got his ticket. No, because essentially we had our laptops with us and then our phone. So I told Kano, I'm like, well, sometimes maybe one moves faster than the other for whatever reason. So we had it loaded on multiple devices at the coffee shop. So like he got his, and then I got mine. We both got it through the computer, and then we were still moving through the line on our phones. And then we're in multiple group chats with other people. Mm-hmm. And like he had mentioned, some people didn't get their ticket yet, and their guy wasn't moving. So we were like, oh, I'm back in. What do you need? Just give me your information.
Right.
And then Kaden's like, oh, I'm back in. Who else needs some stuff? So we were able to help out our friends so that everyone who wanted to go had it's like they're not stressed because we got their tickets for them.
Yeah. And of course, like I think the most stressful one was for Matt, because like Amy had her ticket, but like Matt had to get his.
Amy trying to go to Coachella by herself. She said, Neutrogena, I'm coming back, baby.
I'm coming back.
But it's cool. We're excited. We got our tickets. So I was at Costco today. Oh my God, I should have sent you this picture of the tent, because they have like tents and the canopies and all this shit up. And it was so funny because there was his tent. I think it was like a 9-person tent, and this shit was huge. And I wanted to send it. I just forgot.
I went to Costco a week ago and I saw that tent and I kept it to myself.
It was like they have it in the air too, so it's not even like on the floor. It was up. I'm like, holy. This is it. This is a tent.
We should do that. We should do that next year. Just no, it's not. Let's not even entertain that.
Oh my God! But I'm like, oh my God. Well, I'm gonna come back here slowly get things possibly for the next year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I think because maybe we're pumped about getting tickets, we also said on this pod, besides the why not, like, of trying new food, I send you all the time just like different little speakeasies. I'm big into speakeasies, so
Yeah.
I was just like, I know you don't drink very much or hardly at all.
I really don't, besides
Yeah.
the pods and
And the occasional maybe night out
Yeah.
or whatever. But you're like, yeah, I'm down. Let's go. So I was just like, okay, let's plan it. Let's just set it in stone. Let's go to this, whatever. We'll invite a few friends, and then we'll just see where the night takes us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we started at Adults Only.
Adults only, yeah.
Really cool. It was like a video rental.
Yeah,
Wait,
it was-
yeah.
Before we got inside, it was really cool.
Yeah. So we get to the security, guy, and he's like, are you here for like the show? And we're like,
This makes no sense.
we're like, no, we're here for the bar. And he's like, all right, well, as long as you go in and go to the bar, you're okay. Otherwise, you need like a ticket. We're like, okay.
Sure.
Like, we're going to the bar. And then we walk in. It's like, oh, and we'll show the visuals right now on YouTube. But it's like, oh, that you walk in and
Right.
there's like cassette tapes and there's like analog like CRT TVs and stuff like that. And it was really rad.
Yeah,
And
it was
then
really cool.
you-
The old VHS tapes, where picking them up and looking at them, you're like, they're real. They're actually real.
Right, like like you lift up, it's like, oh, the actual VHS is inside here, and then you walk a little bit further, and there's the adults, like
Yeah, oh, yeah.
adults,
Hustler and all them.
yeah,
The
Hustler.
vending machine with all this, like,
the sex
cool-
toys and stuff, whatever, like the ball gag for the mouth thing, and then it became horrible. You walk in and you go to the bar. Well, we went into the bar, and there's like a talent show almost type of thing,
Or maybe it was
a
like open mic.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's not like this all the time. Like, on the reviews say it's a real cool, chill place. Maybe we just went on the wrong night.
Maybe
The
But-
menu was pretty cool because it was all like video inspired drinks.
Right.
But it was hard to hear because like the music was loud and.
But it also made no sense because if you buy a ticket to listen to music or at the bar, you're still hearing the music.
That's what we're.
There's so like you basically just get a free ticket to the show and
Yeah.
then just pretend that you're at the bar. Or,
Yeah.
otherwise. But we sat there. We got a drink. I didn't like mine so much.
Do you remember? I don't remember what one
I don't
was
remember.
called.
The one I wanted wasn't it Be Kind
Oh,
Rewind?
and they didn't have it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had to get like some other drink that was like I forget what
Yeah.
it was. But then we're sitting there, and the other people, our friends, hadn't showed up yet. So we're like, maybe we should just
I was like, this isn't the vibe.
absolutely not.
Yeah, I was like, so we started like collaborating with everybody else. Like, hey, does anybody else have any ideas? Should we go here? Should we go there?
Yeah.
And one of my dear friends who I haven't hung out with in forever, Alan. He's like, oh, let's try this place. I think maybe he'd been there once or twice. I don't know, but I was like, whatever. It's probably better than this. So we finished our drink, and we went to the next bar.
And I don't know the name of it. I don't have it on me right now, but we called it Bar La Bitch.
Hey guys, Canaan and I are at the next restaurant.
Restaurant?
What's it called?
La Bar Lubitsch. Bar Lubitsch.
I have La Flame. Canaan, what do you have?
French 76. It's got champagne in it. Sippin Truth.
It's a Russian bar, but it's actually really cool.
Yeah, it was actually really cool.
Yeah, and so Anna and I, we were still the first ones there. And then I got, I forget the name of the drink.
French 76.
But it was kind of good. It was like beer and champagne together.
Oh yeah, mine was some spicy thing. La Flame. That's
had
what I
La
had.
Flame?
Yeah, I
La
did.
Flame.
La Flame.
And I had something, it was a number, it was like 79, something
I'm
79.
not sure.
I don't remember.
French 76.
But I remember we were by like the water, like where you can like get your own water. And
Yeah.
I did tell Kanan, I'm like, listen, I don't want you to feel like you have to drink tonight. Like you don't. You can
Right.
basically get a glass of water, have them put a lime in it, and just say you're sipping on vodka all night.
Right.
Don't feel that you have to drink.
And I was just, I had already had one drink in me from the previous place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to go out tonight because, you know, I don't
Yeah.
work the next day.
Yeah. Thank
And-
God I didn't work the next day.
So it was, you know, I had a couple more drinks.
Yeah.
And then, we were the first ones there.
Mm-hmm.
There was also not a secret, but there was like a.
We didn't even know about that separate one until I think some of the girls had told us that were like passing by.
Right.
Alan finally got there, and then we were chatting with him, and he's like, I think he was the one that said, let's go to the back.
Right.
So then we went to the back, and I think at that time I'm already feeling it.
Yeah. Well, so there's already a bar in the front area, but when you go to the back, there's another bar.
Yeah. And that's, I think, finally our other friends started showing up.
Yeah.
The music was a good time. I don't remember. I just remember everything was a good time.
Yeah, it was great. I had not in sequence, but I had 2 Crown Royals just straight up with just ice. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of whiskey, and I remember ordering it, and you rolled your eyes. So I was like, I have a Crown Royal, no ice. You're like, this guy. But yeah, I lost all my inhibitions.
Yeah, you did.
I danced the night away. It got to the point where I was just like, yeah, I couldn't remember it. Like, I had no control over my body. I was just free, and it felt like
Coachella,
it was
Canaan.
euphoric. Yeah, it was. If I didn't have to feel the effects of being drunk, like afterwards, I would love to do that a lot more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like dance the night away.
Yeah, I mean, you were vibing, you had a good time. We occasionally would lose you here and there, but
oh yeah, so like at one point, well, I'm talking to random people, like, when I get really tipsy and buzzed, like I'm just very extroverted, which is not like me because I'm very introverted. But I was talking to people, and then at some point we all got in that group near the front, and then Brendan was like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy shots for everybody. Does anybody want shots?" And I was like, "No, I'm okay. Like, I need a break." So everybody went away, and I was just like, well, I don't really want to follow, so I'm just going to dance here. And then I got pushed. I got
all the way to the
not,
back?
not physically pushed,
Right.
but like there was someone right next to me, and I was like, you know what? And then I just started dancing on stage. And time passed. I don't know how long I was up there, but I was just vibing and dancing. And then Baby by Justin Bieber comes on.
Oh, yeah, I have a good video of this.
Yeah. And I see Brendan in the crowd. And I'm like, oh, they're there. And then they're like, we're singing to each other, like from across the room. And then shortly after, I got in the group and then just started like dancing like crazy again. But that music.
It was just a good time. It was just a good time.
Yeah.
It was good people. Like I said, I haven't seen some of those people in a few weeks, so it was good. Some of them I haven't seen in a few months. I haven't seen Alan forever, so it was great to just see him again. You made the best decision by not having that shot. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Well, after you had your shots, after all y'all had your shots, I'm like, well, I could get another drink. And so I got another Crown Royal. And yeah, it was the best decision because I was even more drunk. But yeah, what happened on your end there, pal?
Well, I made a mistake by one. I only had lunch that day because I worked that morning, afternoon, whatever. I went to the gym after work, and I did not eat before I went out. I had a bowl of grapes.
Oh my God.
But I feel like I do pretty well every time I go out.
Yeah.
Coachella was fine. I know my limit.
Yeah.
I knew I shouldn't have taken that shot. Like, I knew where I was at. I was in a really good spot. Like, we're singing, we're dancing, everyone's having a good time.
Did you have like a freeze frame moment?
It was just like, and it wasn't like it was peer pressure or anything. It was like a little bit, hey, I'm gonna get shots. Do you want a shot? And I literally could have said no, and I know I should have said no. But I guess you're in those nights where I'm like, what's the worst that's gonna happen?
Yeah, what can you do?
Sure.
Yeah.
And just thinking about it was warm. Just everything I couldn't. Just thinking about it the last few days, I was like, I regret that decision. It's nobody's fault but my own.
Yeah.
But I regret that decision. And then like slowly the night just starts to, like, everything moves so fast.
Yeah, and everybody's vibing, having a great time. It was like, it was pretty phenomenal. People were just like, everybody around me was like chilling. People were like commenting. They're like, hey, I like your shirt. And I'm like, oh my God, like, thanks.
This was before or after you took your shirt off?
I think before.
You're like, this is my chest. This isn't a shirt.
This is a t-shirt of my chest. And I was like, oh, nice mustache or whatever. Like, I don't know. Oh, and then at some point, I'm in my car and I text Ana and I'm like, hey, I'm just in my car. And then you like, I watch you leave the bar, and then you're like waiting to cross the street. Words were exchanged. I don't remember what you said, but it was a bunch of nonsense. She gets, because like I'm the one who drove her to the adults only and to this bar. And so like we're just chilling in the car, and she's saying something to me. She's like, I just want to go home. And I was like, okay, like I can take you home. Yeah. And then at some point, before I drive away, she's like, oh, can we get In and Out? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, we can get In and Out. Because I was also hungry. You know, you're dancing the night away. Right. All that energy is being expelled. But that was a fun time.
Yeah, it's not my proudest moment, and you know, because we're on this podcast and we're keeping it real. I woke up. I think woke up in the bathroom, and I had the worst hangover the next day. Yeah. I lost all inhibition. I probably should have stayed and maybe just danced it out of my night the rest of the night, but it is what it is. I woke up and I apologized to Canaan tremendously because it was not my finest moment. Right. I blame the grapes that I ate before.
It was by far the grapes. That's the issue.
And I remember I'm stumbling into my apartment, and my sister, because she had texted me that night, because I think I said we were going to go to In and Out or something. Mm-hmm. So she thought I was going to bring her In and Out. So I'm coming through the door, and she's like, where's my In and Out? I'm like, bitch, get out the way. Yeah, got in, passed out. Man, what a night. What
a night. But honestly, it was so fun. A lot of fun stories. I mean, we're sharing this right now in the pod. I mean, it was like one of those, it was awesome to be a part of, and I'm grateful. Thanks for the invite. That was really nice.
I'm so glad we went out. Yeah. I'm so glad.
I mean, Ana was saying that night, never again. She said a couple times, never again. I'm never.
And I think I texted him the next morning, and I was like, bro, never again.
Yeah.
And that never happens. I think in all the 2 years that you've met me, and any time we went out, that's never happened. So I don't know what happened. I know what happened. That shot happened.
You know, it was a real bonding moment.
But yeah, I mean, we have our Friends premiere that's coming up, and we may go out tomorrow. So we'll see where the night takes us.
So we recorded a variation of this podcast about a week ago at this point.
Yeah, I think we posted up about a week ago that we were recording, or we were in the studio.
And we were recording.
And I just remember we finished, we were wrapping it up. Because we didn't go out that night. We went out the night after. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, it was Friday. And I just remember later in the evening, I got a text from our good friend Brendan, and I think he made me send me a voice memo, and he's like, Ana, this beef that's going on right now with like Kendrick and Drake, someone's gonna die. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Oh my God.
And I really wasn't up, with what was what was going on. Like, I heard about it here and there, but I wasn't invested in it. So I'm like, and he's like going off, like going back and forth with me. And then finally in our group chat we have together, I had mentioned, I'm like, Canaan, like Brendan's talking, and I didn't know that you guys separately were talking about the same thing. Right. So like all collectively we started talking about this.
Well, yeah, Brendan randomly approached me and he was like, have you heard the Drake diss yet? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no. I remember Kendrick, but again, like I heard that Kendrick did a diss, but I hadn't heard it. I didn't even hear it till tonight. Yeah. And then he sent me Drake's. And then, like, moments later, after he sent it, he was like, oh, my God, Kendrick just dropped another diss. So I had to comprehend the Drake diss, which is like 8-10 minutes long. Mm-hmm. And then immediately after that, having to, follow up with Kendrick. But it was then the group chat just went wild.
And it's not even that group chat. Like, we were in our group chat, and then I had another group chat with another bunch of people that we're friends with I'm like, oh my God. So literally I had to like silence all my chats, and I'm just like, I need to like go down this deep dark hole of like the beginning. Right. So like you guys are all talking about it, and I'm like listening to YouTube videos, and these are like our YouTube videos.
She's like doing research on it.
Work the next day, like hella early in the morning. It's like 2 a.m. and I'm still like going down like this YouTube search, and I'm listening to this and that, and like watching reaction videos. So now I'm invested. So exactly. I'm like, well, you pulled me into this. Mm-hmm. So this has been like an ongoing conversation since since that happened. And I remember us being out, and I think I turned to Brendan at one point when we were out, like jamming to what Justin Bieber. I'm like, what if they play one of the songs right now? Like, wouldn't that be so sick?
Right?
And there was clubs like around that were playing. I wanted Kendrick's to come out. I was so excited.
That would have been sick. And then, so like, you know, all that stuff happens. And then literally the next day, I think Saturday, Kendrick releases the final one, or at least what we think is the final one. The Bop. Not Like Us. And, you know, it just added to it, and it was beautiful. Like I was, you know, what a time to be alive right now. You know, like this beef, you know, is just remarkable, and you know, it's great for hip hop, and it's also great to, you know, have discourse, I guess. Hopefully, no one dies. What do you think about? You know, I have my opinions about like who's the winner in this case, but
listen, I going into it, I wasn't a favorite of anybody's, but I don't know. I mess with Kendrick's a lot more. Yeah. Like literally the last few days, like that I've got up to go to the gym, that has been Not Like Us has been on the playlist. Oh, and I mean, I've listened to all of them though. Like I do like Family Matters that Drake came out with, but I mean, honestly, Euphoria, Not Like Us. What's the other one? Meet the Grams.
The Grams. That was like a nail in the coffin. I feel like Not Like Us was the shovel that was burying the thing. And I've known of Kendrick Lamar because when I was in Boston, like he was really big, like in 2013, 2014. That's when I knew of his music. And, you know, of course, Damn was phenomenal. That album was great. Have you heard Damn? Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
I have a pair of actually Kendrick Lamar shoes.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's
his Cortezes.
And yeah, so of course I was like, I already had my predispositions about Drake. Like you know, and a lot of the stuff that were allegations in the beefs was like, okay, like it's connecting. It makes sense for me. Mm-hmm. I think Kendrick is the winner out of all these because the last track that Drake did, I don't know what happened to him, but
I mean, I know people are going to
right.
agree to disagree. I mean, we've gone back and forth with different people that I've talked to that are avid Drake fans, and they're going to live and die for that guy. So,
right.
But it's just fun
to
talk about it, to carry the conversation throughout the day with it.
Yeah, it's like, where were you May 3rd? Was it May 3rd? Where were you the night that Kendrick and Drake dropped their beefs?
Because it was Kendrick, it was Drake, and then it was J. Cole. But J. Cole retracted his stuff.
That's right. He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because like then in our group chat, like Canaan and Brendan were doing this to each other.
I'm hungry, and the beat's already blaring. Grab me a fucking hot dog and make me a fucking sandwich.
You're undercut. It makes you look like an underbutt. With that underbutt.
Talk a lot of shit on that pod using my name. That shit's lame, but I'm game. Finna flame till it ages. Rubbing honey's tummies even if I'm late. Bitch.
Now, of course.
Okay. Dropping bars.
Yeah.
And again, like, this is all muted. I'm just like, I'm J. Cole in this. Like, I'm out of this. I'm trying to, like, get educated on what's going on a little bit.
Right.
But it's been fun.
Hey, have you ever heard a white person rap?
And listen, the whole time,
much worse than that.
They're like, Ana, come on, we're waiting for you. We're waiting for you. I'm like, I'm not creative like this, guys. I can't do this.
Please send us a diss track because we really want like we can't just be dissing each other. Like sometimes I'd be dissing Brendan, he'd be dissing me, and then we'd be like, Ana, where you at? And then yeah.
Well, sorry guys.
You don't have any diss tracks?
I don't think I have any that I'm aware of.
Really?
I'm not going to drop who it's about, but I think maybe after they listen, they'll know. I don't know. I guess you guys can be the judge. I'm going to be embarrassed about this afterwards, but I figured why not? This one's for the Sippin Truth. I had to partake somehow. All right, guys, here we go. Yo, listen up, here comes the rhyme about a curly-headed dude ain't worth the dime. They call him Moosey with ravens on his mind, but when it comes to diss tracks, he's far behind. Ain't no Denzel, just an actor wannabe, but his skills are as weak as a withered tree. rocking those curls like he's in some fairy tale. But in the rap game, he's just plain frail. White boy from Maryland thinks he's got game, but when it comes to dissing, he's just plain lame. Part-time hustle, hiking up the trail, but when he spits rhymes, he utterly fails. Moosey, oh Moosey, what a pitiful sight, with your curly locks thinking that you are tight. But when it comes to bars, you're just a joke. Stick to hiking, cause rapping ain't your cloak. So here's the diss, straight from the heart. Moosey, you are finished, time to depart. So stick to your day job, leave rap to the pros, cause in this game of rap, you're just one of my hoes. That's all I got.
One of my
I get an A for effort, right?
Wow, I don't know who turned that in, but that is fantastic.
Yeah, it must have been somebody. So we reached out to y'all on Instagram.
We did.
We were like, hey, diss tracks, we would like one, please.
Yeah.
You know, if you have any disses against people, send it our way. And we actually do have one here. Thank you for your submission here. And their name is BB. Whoever BB is.
I wonder.
Well, let's hear what they got to say.
It's like he's slurping
I'm out of
Jacob's backwater.
Sippin' truth or sippin' lies, this ain't no way to wind down. I'm sippin' tea and y'all sippin' me, I gotta pour me a glass of wine now. Y'all not good for my headphones, y'all not good for the world neither. Ooh, I must be in a dead zone, cause I can't hear y'all nose breathers. A hot dog is a sandwich, no need to make an exception. Sippin' truth ain't spilling favors, calling bullshit into question. All Wayfair, no apology. Call your pot a burger joint. I'm in and out chronologically. I press play, then I press pause, and I don't make a return. These sponsors should get a refund, cause I buried y'all under the dirt, bitch.
Wow. I think that's all that they have to say, and that's all I'm going to give them.
Thank you.
Our sponsors are very real. They are real.
How do you think I got this furniture, first of all? Do you think I bought it with my own money? Come on now.
Horrible. Where do you think I got this outfit? At the clothing store?
Why do you think I got an In-N-Out burger the other day at In-N-Out? Come on now.
Yeah,
Why do you think we get Dunkin' like every morning?
Yeah, we would not pay money for that.
Listen,
That'd
if you
be absurd.
got proof receipts of this, let us know.
Me. Show us the money. Show us the receipts. Oh, my God. Should we try to make a diss track right now?
No, that took me a really long time to come up with.
I think I want to try it live, and if it's bad, we'll just cut it.
Okay.
Who are we going to diss? I guess Brendan? No. We always do Brendan.
No,
Who
let's
should I
think of
diss?
somebody. Let's go Ari. Ari J is mean. We haven't talked about him for a minute.
Okay. RJ is mean? Mm-hmm. Let's see what we can do.
See what you can do.
And if it's bad, we can just cut it.
Yeah, we cut it.
My brain, that's just where it went. And
No. And that's why I like to prepare myself before I put a track out.
most of the diss tracks with me and Brendan were very sexual for no reason. Well, I think that's all we have. Is there anything else? We've almost gone for an hour.
No, I think, again, I mentioned earlier, we do have some things coming up.
Yeah.
We have our friends, they have a short film that they're premiering, so we're going to be there tomorrow. So we'll probably have some video footage, and then if we possibly do something after, Kane and I are also going to run our first 5K.
5K. Now, you're going at it from the perspective of someone who's actually exercising and training. I'm going at it from I just got off the couch, and I'm just going to...
I guess we'll see how this goes.
We'll see.
For one person.
Maybe with my long legs, with my stride, maybe I'll be able to keep up with you.
You do know how many miles a 5K is, right?
Yeah, it's like 3 miles.
3.1 miles.
Oh, no. 3 miles I could do, but 3.1, I
You
don't
might
know.
not, yeah.
I think I could maybe do it in an hour.
An hour? Oh my God, I got things to do on Mother's Day. I can't be out there all day.
What? You're going to do it sooner than that?
What do you mean?
You're going to do 3 miles in less than an hour?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Listen, like we're having like this like workout competition or whatever we got going on at work, and I'm with like a really good team of individuals that have been motivating. I haven't worked out this hard in forever, so
no.
yeah, I'm gonna go out and try to PR this 5K.
We're gonna start at the same time, and then by the time that I'm home, Anna has already gone to bed.
So we're definitely not driving together because I don't know how I'm gonna.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, Max Keeble's big move. We will watch at some point.
At some point, yeah.
We have other pressing things that we have to do first.
Like what?
The LA County Fair.
Oh yeah, we have until the 27th actually for that. So.
Oh yeah.
We have to do that actually relatively soon, so we'll have to plan that. One of my good friends, Leo's coming into town next month, so I'm taking time off because I want to be able to spend time with him the whole time he's here.
Yeah.
I reached out to Matt and Amy because I want to try to go down there for a day or maybe a weekend in San Diego to hang out with them and see baby Mateo. Pride is coming up next month as well.
That is true.
Oh
Big
my
old
gosh.
Pride fun. Yeah, so be on the lookout. We're going to have some fun things coming in later pods. But episode 10, baby.
Episode 10.
And our sponsor. To finish
Wayfair is our sponsor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, BB.
Yes.
Wayfair, boss. It's Brendan B. He's the mole. He ratted you out to Smith & Jones. What? Look.
Bro, I'm gonna really make it my life's work to spread that narrative that Wayfair was selling people. I'm gonna take him.
Get Brendan in here now.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, boy, you think I'm slick. Crafting rhymes quick like a magic trick. But let me tell you something about Brendan B. A snitch in the game, ain't no G. He thought he had me, thought he could betray. But Wayfair's too smart, can't lead me astray. I'm the king of shadows, ruler of the night. While Brendan's just a pawn, lost in the fight. He sold his soul for a pocket of cash, but he'll regret it soon. Feel the backlash, I'm the mastermind, the puppeteer. While Brendan's just a tool, fueled by fear. You're decayed, nothing but bones. But to finish you off, here's Smith & Jones. Hands up, Brendan B. Smith & Jones.
I'm Detective Jones.
I'm Detective Smith.
We're on the case hunting down that snitch. Brendan B, you thought you could hide, but we're coming for you. No place to confide. We got our eyes on you every move you make. We'll chase you down, no room for mistake. You took that bribe, you thought you were sly, but we'll find you no matter how high you fly. $5,000, that's what it took to flush out the mold, to crack open the book. You said you sold for a pocket of cash. Well, now you're caught up in our righteous lash. So Brendan B, you can't escape. We're bringing you down. Seal your fate. Detective Jones and Detective Smith on the prowl. When we're done with you, you're nothing but a scowl.
Weezer.com.